Hey, I'm Tom.
And I'm Tanner.
Welcome to episode 82 of Bird Squawk.
Not great. Not great. Kind of sucky one down at the link with the Birds and the Chiefs, but hey, we'll get into it. We have our instant reactions. We remembered to do it this time, so we'll cut back to that now. All right. Post game, we remembered to do it this time. Obviously a little disappointing, but I'm not too surprised. I honestly can say I'm a little, I don't know. It still sucks because it's a loss, but it was a lot better than I guess I was expecting today.
We had opportunities, man. We just left them on the field.
Yeah.
Self-inflicted wounds again.
Yep, that is the big thing again. And then just you had touchdowns that came off the board or you missed. I don't know. I don't want to go into Jalen. It's kind of changed my opinion since we've been driving home and listening to the radio a little bit. But the Chiefs defense is not good. I think he had an okay game. I think he missed some people. He had some open guys. He missed Ertz on a touchdown. He missed Greg Ward on a touchdown. The fumble right before half is rough. But, the stat line is all right. And then the defense, I think, once again, is getting a little too much slack. Not slack. I think they're getting a little too much, hate.
They kind of held their own with what they got, I feel like. I don't know. Obviously, it's still fresh in our minds.
It wasn't impressive? No, but I wasn't expecting them to lock down Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. I just wasn't. I wasn't expecting this game to be as close as it was for as long as it was.
Yeah, that's a couple of the positives. It was competitive, right? It felt like we came out ready to play.
There's obviously some still
spots.
Yeah, there's still a little bit concerns here and there, but I think it was a lot more positive. I think it's a moral victory, I think most people wanted from today.
Yeah, it was the Chiefs. Let's not forget that.
Yeah,
we were playing the Chiefs.
It was going to be a tough game, and they hung around, and I think Saucy was better. I was never a hater, but I think they moved the ball today. When they were moving the ball,
between the 20s was way better.
Yeah, the red zone is still an issue.
The red zone is going to be an issue, man. The red zone feels like an issue. Red zone to me feels like we try to get too cute.
Yeah, I agree. Right? I think the red zone is an issue right now. That's one of the reasons I will agree with running the ball, but everything else I don't really have an issue with. I just think we're finding out that this team's outmatched, kind of like we assumed they would be, but it's showing in some reasons.
Our best players still haven't been drafted. That's what
a couple positives.
Like.
Devontae had a big game, 120 yards.
Yeah, the dude feels like he's open all the time. I don't know. It feels like 7-Eleven to me, like he's open 24/7.
So, that was positive. I wanted to see him have a big game again because week 1 he had a good game. The last 2 weeks were okay. So that's positive. I don't know. We'll send it back to current us and see a couple days if we're feeling a little better or not.
As you can see, a little disappointed on the road trip home, but, for the most part, we were competitive.
Yep.
We did talk about it that night, that day. We left a lot of points out there on the field, but it is what it is.
Yeah, let's get into it. Leaving that, I was obviously excited that we were competitive and that it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. We hung around. It was kind of an entertaining game to be down there. It was a lot more entertaining than the 49ers game. There was a lot more offense. Just looked a little better. But let's really get into this. And let's start with Jalen Hurts because on paper, it looked like he had a pretty good game. 32 of 48, 382, 2 touchdowns. It looks good. I don't know, man.
At the game, you're not feeling it. But, after the game, driving home, hearing everything, everybody's like, he played well. He played good, I don't know, though, man.
I don't know. I know it's early still, and I'm still fully on board with giving him the reins. Unless it's unplayable by the end of the year, I don't want to hear any Minshew stuff, nothing like that. I still think this season still needs to be figuring out what he can do. But I don't know. I just think their defense was not good. I was expecting them to play well. I'm not taking anything away from him, but I was expecting them to play well on offense. I just think what's dragging me down, I look at the stats, they look good, but what's dragging me down is what he left out there. Missing Ertz, missing Greg Ward for touchdowns that could have made a difference in that game. The fumble that cost us a field goal at the end of half. I know that was a little bit of a tricky situation going fast and all that, but that really was a deflator right before half. And I don't know. I'm not. I want the kid to succeed. I want the kid to be it. And I know it's early still, but it just doesn't feel like it.
Some positives, though, really, with the offense. It feels like between the 20s, that offense is clicking, man. They're moving. Getting to that red zone, though.
It's struggling.
You know, we definitely need Saucy to, like, figure out the red zone. Stop trying to overthink it. Stop trying to fake everybody out. Pound the rock, okay?
Yeah.
We had the whole stadium telling you to run the ball.
That was bad.
I mean, and then you gave it to Gainwell. He went right in the end zone. So, I mean, there's some bright spots, but then we go to the defense and it's like, man, I can't throw this dude under the bus like everybody else is doing because
the personnel is not good.
It's what he's got to work with.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to that. Obviously, positives. Offense was moving. Red zone, not good. Devontae Smith looked like a stud. 7 receptions for 120 yards.
Dude's a player, man.
Happy he had a bounce back game. The running backs. I'm still really not that mad about the play calling. Like you said, we were moving. They never punted. They didn't punt the entire game. The offense was moving when you make the throws, when you make the good reads. It moves. I really had no issue with Saucy again this week.
It seems like what we talked about. When they're running up-tempo,
where
Jalen doesn't have to have a lot of time to think about what he's doing.
It's not bad.
It's moving.
Yeah, and so the offense looked good. Once again, it's the Chiefs. We'll get into my philosophy about this team that people I don't think are understanding.
Well, we really want to get to, like, you know, where we're at now, but we really want to get to December and kind of pull back and go, okay, Saucy's got it figured out.
Yeah.
Jalen's got it figured out.
Hopefully.
We're going to move forward. I don't know.
Yeah, because, I mean, I don't know either. Because I'm already looking at the draft, which is not a good thing. But back to the defense. That's the thing. People are really bashing on JG right now. And I get it, but I think it's very telling that he knows he doesn't have the personnel because of him not saying he wants to play nickel, that that's not even in their scheme. Yeah, because he doesn't have the linebackers. He doesn't, I mean, really look at the defense right now. It's not good. The front line, Fletch is nowhere to be found. It's kind of, you got a lot of guys not making, you got Derek Barnett, Josh Sweat making dumb plays.
The dumb mistakes are still.
The linebackers
we're
still
4
bad.
games into this, and the guys are still doing the same stuff.
Yep. The linebackers are still bad. The safeties are weak. McLeod came back. I think he played fine, but the safeties are still weak. The corners are, whatever. They just aren't good. And I think it just is what it is. And this is what I'm saying about the draft. It's early. I know it's very early, but I'm obviously looking at it because the 3 first-round picks, the Carson thing's looking fine. Because right now they sit at 4, 6, and 9. To me, it's linebacker, corner, safety. Even if Jalen's not the guy, it has to be addressing defense because that's obviously the big issue right now.
Hey, man, I'm you see last night the Cowboys released that linebacker. I go get him.
Jalen Smith. I mean,
is he not an instant upgrade
that's the thing.
to what we have now?
I texted him right when it happened, and I did my notes this morning before the show. I totally even forgot to put it on because I knew Howie is not going to do it. Yeah. But I know it's something, they're not going to do it. I saw that they're interested. I'd still be very surprised.
They're interested in everybody when he comes out. But are they really going to pull a trigger for a linebacker? And you know what? The dude was a stud. Now they're saying he didn't know what he was doing.
His rookie year was very good.
He would be an instant upgrade, instant starter on our squad.
100%. And I think it is something to look at. It's not something I'm hanging my hat on. But also about the defense, it was the Chiefs. Like, are we really expecting these guys, this ragtag team to go out there and stop one of the most potent offenses in the league?
I mean, like we talked about, if somebody would have told me, I mean, I think it was the end of the third quarter, it was 28-23.
Yeah, something like that.
If somebody would have told me that before we drove down there, I would have said, you're out of your mind.
Yeah.
We're going to get torched. But we were in it again.
They were competitive.
It was one of those where they kept you there.
Yeah.
Till, the 2-minute
Which isn't bad because that's what I'll accept that. They were competitive. It wasn't like the Dallas game that they were out of it. They showed up, they tried, and I knew they were outmatched, but they still did what it's worth. But this is my big philosophy. This is my big brain. That's really not that big brain. I think it's very obvious. When the offense plays a bad defense, they look good. When the offense plays a good defense, they look bad. And then when you go to the defensive side, when they play a bad offense, they look good. And when they play a good offense, they look bad. If you just go through the games, it's not that hard. The Falcons, both sides of the ball looked good. The Falcons are bad. The 49ers, the defense hung around. I mean, the Niners offense isn't like explosive, but they hung around. The offense looked terrible that game.
Yeah.
Dallas, blown out on both sides because
horrible.
both sides are good. And the Chiefs, the offense excelled against their bad defense, and the defense struggled against a good offense. It's really not that hard. They're not good.
Yeah, I just feel like Saucy's got to figure out getting everybody involved. You know what I mean? He comes to the press conferences, whatever, saying the right things.
But then he does.
Game day, I don't know if that goes out the window or what, but like, there's no way Quez should not be seeing the ball. Miles should not be getting more touches.
This is what I'm saying about the Miles thing. The Miles thing, I get the touches, but it's very obvious that this is something we all know. If you're the biggest Miles fan, you know this. He's not the greatest receiving back. And it's very obvious that they like to have that because Gainwell is all over the place receiving. And they like that his versatility with that.
Yeah, I mean, I heard Saucy talking today at his press conference about like what they liked about Gainwell was they kind of envision him of being like the Danny Woodhead that they had out in San Diego. You know, they kind of looked at his tape and they were like, wow, he could fit that role in this offense. But, you know, I just think sometimes they bring him in at an inopportune time.
I just think I said this week 1 even, I think, or at least week 2. I just don't think they have that power back.
Know the room, Nick. Know the room. Because know what's working.
I get that Miles should be getting carries, and I think he's a very explosive running back. But like I said, that receiving, and that's been an issue with him. That I think does hurt him a little bit with Saucy so far. That he.
But I mean, another thing, and you know, hey, whatever. But I don't understand why Boston Scott isn't even sniffing the field.
Yeah, I mean, I have a little soft spot for Boston Scott, but I still think he should be getting a little something. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
come on, Gainwell has not impressed me that much. That we banished Boston to the. You know,
and I thought that he's gonna be like winning us these games, but I just think
but he's a bigger back,
a little bigger.
Gainwell for that third down yardage, maybe come in.
Yeah, I mean,
mix it up. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. I mean, I don't know. I think Saucy's got to feel out these rotations.
And it's still early. I mean, I'm still okay with Saucy. I still think he has like a C right now for me, a C+, I would say for me right now.
I'm still not sold on him.
It's early.
I mean, he's saying the right things. He's doing the right things somewhat. But I'm kind of still on the fence with him and Hurts. I'm kind of feeling them both out because I'm not really sold on this is where we want to go.
No, I agree with that. And so we'll get into this week. Carolina, this loser's going to be down there.
I got surprised with the trip down to Carolina. I am so excited.
Yeah, what a loser.
Never been on a road trip to a Birds game. I am just stoked.
So I'll just be chilling here all by myself while he's down living it up. Which, in a game that I think they can win. I think I'm a little surprised to say that.
Of course, I see McCaffrey might. Game time.
Yeah,
decision.
I saw that he practiced today. I saw he practiced today. But they lost a similar game to Dallas last week, 36-28, kind of similar to the Eagles game. That shows me that they have a good defense. Like, back to my philosophy, they have a good defense. The offense, I don't know. But their offense is and it depends if McCaffrey plays. They signed Gilmore today, of course.
He's not gonna play.
I doubt he's going to play, but I agree.
I mean, I feel like this game is completely, you know, we get to Darno, man, we got this game.
I do think, I don't know why, because they're 3-1, but I do believe it's winnable. Am I declaring a win? No. But I think if they show up like they did last week, and the defense looks a little better, and the offense...
I mean, the defense got to come up with some plays here.
I mean, they got the interception.
Robbie Anderson. That would be a dude I'd be watching.
Yeah, I mean, they do have talent. The Panthers are still a pretty good team, but I don't know. For some reason, I think the Birds can go down there and win it.
I feel like it's a must-win. I feel like we've hit that point of the schedule.
The thing is, I told you that when we were leaving the game on Sunday. I said, "Is it must win?"
I feel like we hit that point of the schedule where we got to go down
but
to right the ship.
Must win for what? Because the Cowboys are winning the division. If we love it or not, they are.
Build some more faith in these guys.
I don't know. The draft picks are looking good. 4, 6, and 9. I like that. It's not looking good because they come home to the Buccaneers, but they look tough. They looked rough. I know it was raining on Sunday Night Football.
Mac Jones.
I think it's a game they can hang around, but they're not going to win.
Come on.
And then the Raiders are And then the Lions, I'm hoping they'll win that game.
Wow,
and then they come home against the Chargers, who are good. I mean, this schedule, like I've been saying, it's gotten a lot harder than it originally looked like.
Well, the teams we thought were going to
have been good.
They've been better, but the back end of this thing has some possibilities.
Yeah, when we play the division, but at that point it'll be wrapped up. It's pretty.
I don't know. I just feel like it's a game we need, man. It's a game the team needs to build on.
I still feel like they're trying. I still feel like they have the energy. I don't feel like they're giving up. I still think they're bought in. Even if it's not showing on the field, I still think they have a good culture growing, and maybe something will happen on Sunday.
I mean, one good thing we got away Sunday with
injuries weren't too bad. Yes, that wasn't good. I mean,
I don't know what's up with Lane.
He's back, but I don't think he's gonna play. Hopefully everything's fine with him. Yeah. But I think the O-line played fine. I didn't really have an issue with their play.
No.
And we'll see how it goes. I mean,
Melata back?
I don't think so.
No? Wow.
I don't know. So, I mean, yeah, we'll see. We'll be back Wednesday as always. I don't know. I think it might be a victory Monday on this Monday. We'll have to see. Don't get too excited, people. Don't get too excited. It's still the Eagles. But, yeah, we'll be back on Wednesday like always. Thanks for watching. Make sure to follow us on Instagram @birds_squawk. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Go Birds.